Hello everybody, this is Greg with Redneck Workshop 1. Today we are resuming some work on the Fankenstand for the Tormach mill. Piece of 1/4-inch aluminum that I had cut out. Some holes here, cutouts here, and where this is going is back here to seal up this area. But the bulk, well, what I'm going to be putting in there are bulkhead fittings. What this will do is this will go into the aluminum, tighten up. I'll put another fitting like so in this side, and this allows me to use the push lock hose on the inside and the outside and have a sealed up clean installation. I'm going to have one for air for the automatic tool changer, one for air for the Pierson work holding, one for air for the vacuum generators for the vacuum pallet. There's a turn off knob, and then I'm also going to have this one for the Pierson pallet so I can turn the air off to that if I need to disconnect it. And then I'm going to have a fourth one for future expansion. I'll just create a plug to press down inside here to seal this up for the time being. But that gives me my 4 openings: tool changer, pallet system, vacuum system, future expansion. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the little pallet down here on the Pierson pallet system to mount my vise on, so I can still use my vise, move it, and then I'm in the process of setting up the Pierson for my work table. So a lot going on here in the shop. See that big opening right there? That's where that aluminum panel is going to go. So let me get that kind of in place and figured out, and then we'll be back. Alright, here we are on the next stage. We've got our piece of 1/4-inch aluminum machined out. Looks nice. Built our angle iron outer perimeter. We have our airline bulkhead fittings all installed. And it will actually go in. This will be the side that you see. Make sure you can see that. The air lines will come in out here inside the machine, so we get no coolant leakage outside the machine. So I kind of like that. We're going to put a valve on 2 of them so we can actually turn them off. But I notched this out for the wiring trough on the Tormach, and where it's going to go. May be a little bit tough to see, is back here. It's going to go back in this area right here, and once I get that in, I'll bring you back. Alright, excuse me while I sneeze. We have got the Pierson pallet system loaded up here. Further instructions, we have one piece on the edge snugged down. We have our last word stare it, and for some reason I can't get this thing to focus. Dial indicator on there, and I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, but we've got it worked to where it is not moving at all across the entire face. So I'm calling that pretty skippy. 0, 0. So we now are going to put these on here, and And then we're supposed to snug them up. And we're going to check it again, and then we're going to get a torque wrench out, and he wants some torque to 40 foot-pounds. Now, one of the things I did is I cleaned the table really, really good. I sprayed it down with BioShield to make sure that it's a good rust preventative. And then I coated everything down with Corrosion-X high performance waterproof grease. This is supposed to be the best thing out there for this sort of an application that I could find. And I coated everything up so that it won't rust underneath the pallet. Again, we're going to jog it back, and you see, other than the little bit from the friction of starting and stopping, it is not moving from one end to the other. So let's get a torque wrench out here and torque this down. Okay, 40 foot-pounds. Okay, we're right there. We'll come up to this corner, so we got a nice, got that one. We got that one. I'm trying not, well, I hit it anyway. And we got that. So everybody's torqued down. And everybody out there with those click-tight torque wrenches, make sure you always bring that back down to 0 so that you're not leaving that spring compressed and you deform the spring and cause yourself issues. And you should also take that torque wrench every once in a while and have it recalibrated. There's probably some folks out there that say, oh, you don't need to do that, but it just depends on how you want to take care of your stuff. Okay, we're back to 0 there. And we virtually got no movement from one end to the other. I'm calling that good. Well, that wasn't good. Huh. No, it's not a Noga, and yes, I wish it was. But, some of us have to make do with what we got. So let's try that again. Okay, that's fairly rigid. Walk that into the y-axis. I'm going to preload it up to 0. And we're going to walk the x. We get that initial little bit from the friction of it starting, but you see it's not moving all the way across. I'm calling that good. Alright, so now we have it all hooked up that way. I hooked up the valve there. I put some 45s. I strung the hose around the back. I got the bulkhead fittings in. I've got a fourth one for expansion, and then with that all I did was put this camera off of here. Show you a little better. Put a piece of hose in there and plugged it. That's for future expansion. I've got the one that controls the automatic drawbar. I got one that feeds the pallet, and then I got another one that I have on this little valve right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a plate. I'm going to drill it and I'm going to mount it right here. Use these two cover screws to hold it in place. And this is going to be for the vacuum. And then it's got the on off, so when I don't need it, I can have it unhooked and still have everything here. But nice little system together there. Got the excess hose over the back. That's the Max X travel, so I've got plenty of length. It doesn't interfere with anything, and I maximized the my X and Y usage for the biggest pallet that they make. And back here, I created that panel that I've already showed you. Got it put in there. There's those bulkhead fittings over there. And then I will slowly work this panel around. I'm going to create a cover to cover this up. And then I'm probably going to create my cover to come up right here along this and to come out and over. And then I'll create my pan and I'll keep it probably right about here. Somewhere right in through here. Very short one on this side. There's not a lot of need for length. And this way all the chips will hit the pan. Everything is sloped down towards the catcher. There's where I have the fog buster mounted right now, but once I create the panel over here, I'll probably put it right here on this side. I can still see all the gauges, still fill it, and have plenty of room to work with it. This is my custom arm. It articulates, it moves. My keyboard sits on here, waterproof, a nice little shelf. I can move it around, touch screen. But it's going together well. I love this pallet system. You have to excuse the camera, it's the only thing I've got. It's not the greatest, but it works. Maybe one day I can afford to get a better one. But for right now, it's what I got. Pallets go on rather nicely. Simply pull that up, index it on, sucks it right down, and that is rock solid. Now my Y comes to right about here and right about here, and X comes to right here and then all the way to this edge on this. So that's the biggest pallet that he makes. It is the 10 by 16, and that's going to give me my most parts per pallet that I can use anywhere, and it comes out pretty good. Now I have a smaller pallet that we are going to put on here, and that's what we're going to attach the vise to. sheet of aluminum. And on the back of the pallet, it has these little dimples. I'm setting it up so my dimple always goes on the left. Goes on there, sucks it right down, locks it in place, not going anywhere. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to surface the plate with a shear hog. It's going to take a little while, but that's the biggest thing I've got, and I'm going to take about 100 thousandths off the top, get it good flat, and then I'm going to mount the vise up on there and drill and tap for the vise, get that trammed in place, and then that's going to be my permanent vise setup so that I can use a vise or I can use the pallet system, whichever I need to do, but I don't have to load and unload the table and tram stuff in. It's good to 4 decimal places in accuracy. So we'll see how things work out. And then I also copied some things that NYCNC did. I got the one-way sprag bearings, created me an in and out for tightening up bits and stuff, and then I created a little bracket so that my rubber mallet hangs there. But I'm slowly getting it. So the Fankenstand is coming along. It now has a back section, and I will slowly work it around, and I will keep y'all updated as we change things around on it. It's a work in progress in between jobs. I try to improve things a little bit. Get out in the shop, make something, have a great day. And there we have it. We decked it off 100 thousandths, drilled and tapped, and we used, it's called an Easy Lock thread insert, big steel insert that you tap half 3/4 inch 10, I think it is, and then it leaves you with a 1/2 inch threaded hole so that you can use these things over and over and over, and they really lock in good. It's not like the aluminum threads. We bolted it 4 places. We've trammed it in. It's within 2.002 of side to side, and it's perfect along this edge. So can't complain, can't complain. And it unlocks, relocks. It's a little bit heavy, but you can get it off, and that makes it so that I can use the pallets and whatever else. Still got quite a bit of Z height left. Here's a drill, one of the longest drill bits I use, so I've still got enough room to do pretty much everything I need to do. So, kind of happy with it. The only way I could make things work, but off we go.